Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. We are back, as
We're
in
back.
Angel Eye, because we have been through the weather in Houston.
Crazy, crazy.
Look, I thought it was a hurricane.
Honestly, unexpected. My wife and I were on our way back to what we're staying at, like my grandma's house, and we had to turn back around because we could not get through the road. I couldn't see if it was flooded or not. There was buses everywhere. It's a pretty scary situation.
Dude, it was like crazy because hurricane season's already here, right? Or it's getting
No,
close.
not yet. It's in June.
Okay, then it's getting close. But I mean, there was a tornado that launched over there in Cyprus, 100 miles per hour wind in downtown Houston,
Yeah.
glass, trees, everything you could think of. Everything was falling, debris everywhere. Even a bar. I don't know if you saw that. And there was a bar in there, it just
El
ripped the back
Conejo
part of it.
Malo,
Yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah. So we survived it though. We survived it. We finally got power as both of us, but that's why we're here. Episode 179. Astros are sweeping and streaking because the Astros right now, dude, they're on a hot streak right about now. Like
Absolutely, yeah.
they're winning every game, everything
6 games in a row.
pitching. Yeah, 6 games in a row. Pitching has just been phenomenal for them. Offense looks like it's starting to get back into play. The bullpen looks really better for the Astros as well. But before we get started, objectives of the day, recap the A series, game one of the Brewer series as well. Ronel Blanco's sticky situation coming up to talk about that. That one's going to be a good one, I would say. Who's invited to the Carne Asada pitching preview for game 2 and 3 against the Brewers, stopping at the train station, and of course, around the horn. There's some spicy topics on around the horn this episode. But Angel, before we get started, let them know.
Yeah, as you look down at the ticker, it says follows on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, at Instagram on FSA Full Steam Ahead. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there. We are live and ready to deliver another great episode. But let's get started with that recap of the A series. Headband Breggy is real deal right now. He's a dangerous man. He went 5 for 10, 500 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and a walk. Really great performance, really comeback. He really needed that. He even alluded to taking even extra batting practice before he even went to the stadium because he didn't feel comfortable with the way he was doing. He didn't like the results he was producing, and it showed that practice does make perfect because a really comeback series for Alex Bregman.
I think it was well needed. It was well needed for him.
For both parts, both the Astros and for him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so big thanks for him. He's getting back in the lineup on top of where he usually was in the beginning of the season.
And then with only 2 relievers available, because the Astros had been that Ronel Blanco sticky situation stuff really put a really hurting on the Astros bullpen. So they only had uh, two arms available off the bullpen when Framber Valdez was scheduled to start. And I'm sure Joe Espada and Astros fans just hoped and prayed for a great outing because it was very thin back then, and he delivered greatly. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. He dropped his ERA to 2.95, 11 ground balls, 13 swings and missing. Again, like you said, that how we kind of both touched on that sinker was working. When we talked about what was going on in a few podcasts ago, you I focused on the sinker, what needs to be a little sharper. You predicted that the sinker was gonna be sharp the next outing, and it was sharp this outing as well too. So shout out to Framber Valdez for picking up the team when they need it the most. That's what you want from your ace. Again, he did start opening day this year, so I guess you consider him the ace. I guess co-ace with Justin Verlander as well.
Coates. Yeah.
But shout out to the pen, like you said, it was very thin. They had to pick up a lot of slack from for Ronel Blanco since he was ejected out the game in the third inning. Taylor Scott came in, 3 innings pitch, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 6 strikeouts. Seth Martinez also played a part in the series as well. 2 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The man who's been having success all year, Rafael Montero, really comeback season for him too.
Looking
Two
like a
innings pitched.
vintage 2022 Montero.
Yeah, finally making that contract work. 2 innings pitch, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, 4 strikeouts. And you kind of expect this from a Brady as well. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Ryan Pressey, who we have a little bit more on him later on in the show, who pitched he did pitched the A series as well. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, zero walks, and two strikeouts. And Josh Hader's finally looking like himself, more with 2 innings pitched, zero hits, zero earned runs, one walk, and three strikeouts. I don't know. I don't know. That was a mouthful, but really, really great performance from the bullpen. Who again, I think this series, the both pitching, hitting, and bullpen was kind of clicking on all cylinders, and this is the result the Astros were expecting to get, and Astros fans were hoping will come back soon.
And I think the Astros fans too are looking at Josh Hader and they're like, okay, this is why the Astros gave him the big bucks. This is why he's going to perform at this level. And look, like he's starting to get recuperating, looking like
Mhm.
that vintage Josh Hader. But even MLB analysts from like MLB Network, Baseball Tonight, they say he starts off slow. He's slow starter in the beginning of the season. I think with the Padres, I want to say too, he was the same way, and then he kind of settled in, and then look where he's at right now.
Yeah, fits right into the Astros club, who usually starts slow anyway. So, I think once May, June hits, things start to click, and because like this team is too good to not be successful. And again, 4 games out of the AL West division, pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the Rangers are losing right now to the Angels. So, I mean,
I think they
it,
already did
they
loss.
already
I
did
could be
lose.
wrong. I could be
Okay.
wrong though.
But that was, I mean, that's pretty much it for the A series. It was a sweep. It was a pretty good series all around. I think that's what you expect for the Astros against a team like the Oakland Athletics. But a little bit more competitive game with the Milwaukee Brewers. They have such a great team, great pitching, and they took the first one, which was a nail biter. If you think about it, it's this game was like a boxing match where they're both throwing haymakers because all the runs scored were via home runs. Jake Bauers hit a home run, two big home runs by Jake Myers and Jeremy Pena, which really led the charge for the Astros. Uh,
Joey Ortiz.
Joey Ortiz hit a home run as well, a 3-run shot. So literally all runs scored were home runs, but the Astros got the big ones when they count. A 2-run home run by Jake Myers early in the game, and then Jeremy Pena late in the game with a 3-run shot as well. Pretty much sealed the deal for that game.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like you got to pick up one part of the end. If the other can do it, then the other
Yeah.
part of it's going to do it. And sure enough, the pitching Hunter Brown wasn't looking too bad. And the thing with him, I mean, we talked about it. He's could be one of the best starting pitchers. It's just I don't know. Sometimes maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's
Could
the
be.
mental side of the game as well for him because I mean he gave up 2 long balls, like you said, Jake Bauers and Joey Ortiz. But like that relief appearance coming out of the bullpen, he just had a different meaning. It was just felt different for him.
I think once everybody comes back healthy, he's found his role. I don't think he'll be in the starting rotation once either Kitty comes back, Garcia comes back, and McCullers. I think he finds his way in the bullpen. I think he will have success there. I think, like you said, I think that's where he feels more comfortable with. I don't know what it is. It could be like the mental aspect, maybe the routine, like the pregame routine that he has going on. Maybe in the bullpen he has time to get his mind right, But again, I don't know what it is because typically, what every start so far for Hunter Brown's been about 2-3 runs,
Mhm.
probably minimum, right? Again, I don't have the exact numbers right now, but and then when he came out the bullpen, and even in years past, he's had pretty much success. I think that's going forward. Once the arms are healthy, it'll be Hunter Brown in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think that middle relief role just sets him up really good because the fourth inning came and that's when Ortiz hit that 3-run shot and then kind of like the wheels fall off the wagon.
Yeah.
And honestly, 1 through 3, he looked really good. He gave up that solo shot to Bowers, but other than that, I mean, he looked really good at the plate. I mean, not the
Yeah,
plate, the mound.
yeah, absolutely.
But Joshua, real quick, are you guys okay after? I think we are great
Yeah,
after the storm. We're surviving. We're surviving.
family's good too. Oh,
Everybody's good. Bring on the Blitz podcast. What's going on, fellas? Great Astros content as always. You guys always get it done. Our source for great Astros and MLB contact. Shout out to them. They just had their show
yeah,
today too because of the rain as well. So great text and coverage from them, guys. Bring on the Blitz podcast. They're on X. They're on YouTube. Make sure you go give them a follow. Subscribe to their YouTube channel because
yeah,
I mean the schedule just got released too from the
yeah.
Texans. 6 primetime games. That's a big difference.
Was it 6?
Well, you could count 5, but Netflix.
Ah,
Netflix got the Christmas Day game.
okay. Yes, I think that's what they talked about in their podcast. I'll bring on the Blitz. It analyzed the schedule, broke it down, the reactions, and I think Texans have a tough schedule, but I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, so definitely, if you don't go follow them, make sure to go follow Bring on the Blitz podcast. Everything Texans, everything NFL. But Angel, I mean, the Astros right now, I mean, they're on a winning streak, won 5 straight. And they just swept the Oakland Athletics, like you said. The A's, it's like kind of like you got to do your job and
Yeah.
sweep a team like that. And I'm not saying that the A's are bad. The team, we talked about, they got notable good players, Brent Rooker, Langoliers. I mean, they got a bunch of good talent on that team. But the Astros are just more experienced and they have a lot of veterans on the team to be able to sweep a team like that. So I was able to get that done. And then taking game one of the Brewer series. I mean, this series is going to be very critical. I think this is the series that the Astros have to definitely win and buckle down. And
Yeah.
it's a competitive team.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, you have to beat the good teams to make it to the playoffs. So this is what the game is start.
Ashworth Craig, catch you in the morning, of course. Get some sleep. It's already gonna be
It's
11
10:50.
o'clock,
It's a late one.
10:50 in
Yeah.
Central Time. Yeah. So shout out to all the people who are watching us talking Nationals baseball and things like that. But the biggest thing of them all in the A series, Angel, was the Ronel Blanco sticky
Dilemma.
situation, the dilemma, whatever you want to call it. I mean, rosin. I mean, I don't know. Well, we're gonna give our thoughts here in a minute, but let's kind of recap what had happened there. Blanco though was just cruising. 3 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. He just looked like the consistent pitcher that he's been for the Astros this whole season. So going out into the fourth inning, Blanco's going to the mound. The first base umpire, was waiting for him on the mound. And he grabbed his glove, touched the inside of the glove. You know where that hole is at, where you could see your kind of like your knuckles. Well, not your knuckles, but you know what I mean. Anyway, grabbed his glove, started touching it, and kind of like thought there was something different. Then he huddled up the umpire crew. So next thing you know, Blanco got ejected. You know how that happened? It happens. Confiscated the glove as well and took it to the umpire's locker room. Blanco was just trying to get an explanation. He was telling the umpires too, "Hey, touch my hand, feel my hand. Like I don't have nothing sticky on it. Y'all need to see what I have on my hand because I'm telling you the truth. There's nothing going on. Why am I gonna go in each inning and then all of a sudden I'm gonna put something on?" But post game comes around, the Astros were able to get the win from the bullpen. Shout out to the pen, like Angel had said. But Blanco, after the game, this is a quote from him. He said, "It was probably rosin I put on my left arm, maybe because of the sweat. It got into the glove, and that's maybe what they found." End quote. And then Blanco didn't know if it was illegal to put rosin in your non-throwing hand. Blanco did say though he would appeal if he was suspended. And sure enough, a suspension came. Major League Baseball announced Ronel Blanco received a 10-game suspension and an undisclosed fine for violating the prohibitions on foreign substances. Danny Brown comes out the next day on Wednesday, and Brown said that Blanco will not appeal it and immediately start his suspension Wednesday. Another thing I forgot to mention from the post game after the game was Chrissy Ricken, who works for the AP. She had asked the first base umpire who checked Blanco's glove, and he had said this quote: "It was the stickiest stuff I felt on a glove since we've been doing this for a few years now." God, I can't even talk right now. End quote. But obviously, Brown said the Astros will move into a 6-man rotation and Blanco will miss one start. That was what came out of the horse's mouth. Astros can't call anyone up, and it will have to be 25 men on the roster due to the suspension. Thursday comes around per Chandler Rome. There's a quote. He said Ronel Blanco is able to be around the Astros during pregame work, but can't be in the clubhouse or dugout during games. Joe Espada said the team may have him throw a live BP during his suspension to stay sharp. And yes, Blanco will get his glove back from the league. And then last but not least, to put the finishing touches on this whole thing, Blanco said this, and this is per Brian McTaggart. Blanco said he didn't appeal the suspension because it would prolong the time it would take for him to return. Quote from Blanco: "I wanted to get back and help the team as soon as possible." End quote. Blanco said he knew the rule, but quote, "I just didn't know I couldn't put the rosin on the non-throwing arm." End quote. He said he usually goes through 3 jerseys. My gosh, 3 jerseys per game because he sweats so much and thus needs rosin. Angel, by all means, the floor is yours. What do you think of the whole thing? I'll put my touches after you talk, but this is crazy.
No, yeah. The honestly, Ronel Blanco getting suspended doesn't really bother me as much. If you have foreign substance like in your glove, when it's not supposed to be, by all means, do what you got to do, right? because the umpire's a judgment. But the thing that kind of bothers me as uh, as a writer, as someone who observes baseball, is the inconsistency there is around the league with this. For example, Tyler Glasnow today had scuff in his in his arm, like you can see the blackness of it, and they were able to brush it off and do what you got to do to clean it off. Even Clark Schmidt, Yamamoto was able to wash his hands before going in. So uh, my thing is like the difference between those situations and Ronel Blanco situations. Like if it is sticky, like I believe someone's able to switch. Like was it Yamamoto who was able to switch his gloves out too?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Yamamoto that was able
So
to do that.
so I just think there needs to be some consistency around the league where if it is like if the glove is actually sticky, then if one player gets to switch their gloves, then why not another person, right? And I'm not just saying this because like it was and again this Astros podcast Astros player, but I'm saying like just throughout the league, like if someone has a sticky glove and you let someone switch it, gotta let somebody else switch it, or if you allow someone to wash their hands when it gets sticky, then another player needs to be able to have that same opportunities. I think just the inconsistency around the league is kind of like making the situation seems worse than it is because Blanco was the one that received a suspension. It had to be the Astros with their history of, you know, I guess cheating around the league, right? So it's just it just kind of makes it look like I'm not saying they're targeted. That's not what it is now, but it's just like more like it makes it seem like the bigger clubs that get more televised gets like kind of a slap on the wrist, whereas the small market teams get severely punished for doing this what others are doing as well.
Real quick, catching up with the comments. Adam Wynn, howdy y'all, how's it going? Que onda muchachos, Anthony Rodriguez. But Adam, you were talking about it right there. Adam had made a good point. Tyler Glasnow got the boogies on his hand and got no penalty out of it. And he even said too, I was at the game yesterday, barely made it there. Man, hopefully, yeah, the rain, like I said, that was just crazy. But going back to the Blanco topic that we're talking about, it's like you're saying, yeah, it's inconsistency. The Glasnow one is a prime example, I would say. The Yamamoto, he was able to switch the glove and all that happened. But I mean, if you look into Glasnow's hand, zooming in, there's some stuff. I'm not saying, like I said, I don't know what's on it. We're just
Yeah,
putting our opinion. We're just seeing what's out there. And so, there was some stuff on his hand. And the umpires were touching it. So what my part is too is like, okay, with Ronel Blanco, why you didn't let him have the chance to just, hey, I'm telling you, there's nothing on my hands. Touch it. There's no stickiness, nothing like that, wrong. I want you to show, like, I'm just trying to prove my point to show y'all that I am not cheating. I'm not doing none of this stuff because as soon as something happens for the Astros and they get caught cheating, the next thing you know, people go back and think of 2017 World
yeah,
Series cheating scandal and all that stuff. So yeah, like you're saying, the Astros probably are the scapegoats right now because you made it. You just said it all. Yankees, Dodgers, them are big market teams. Astros, on the other hand, they're not a big market team. I would say they're kind of getting there, but
hmm
they're not a big market team. They're not like the Yankees, the Red Sox, all these teams that that's well known on the market. The other thing is when it comes to stuff like that, we even tweeted it out on our Twitter about the rosin experiment by David Cohn. ESPN did a great job covering that last year. And David Cohn washed his hands. I mean, no, not wash his hands. He had a little bit of sweat on him, got a little bit of rosin, did all that, put some alcohol next to like kind of, take away the stickiness. I guess it triggered it a little too. But as you can see on the video, the ball was stuck. The ball was stuck. His hands were like they were sticky. And rosin and sweat is obviously going to do that. It's legal in baseball, but like they were saying, it's illegal to have it on your non-throwing arm, which I don't think I don't see that as a huge problem though. I really
well,
don't.
typically when you do get like rosin and stuff like that, you have to wipe it off, right?
Mhm.
So like if you notice when you get rosin, they either wipe it off on their pants or like stuff like that. So just to avoid getting it on like anywhere else, right? Because you're not supposed to have it on your non-throwing hand, like you said. You're not supposed to have it like in the glove, cap, or anything like that. So you grab the rosin, wash it off, basically brush it off. So I think that's, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they did. I mean, the umpires did what they had to do.
Yeah,
Like at their part, it's just just consistency. Right?
yeah, and then come on, like you gotta think about it too. Houston, my gosh, the humidity in Houston, and we know we can say it ourselves because we live here. It is hot as hell. It is hot as fuck. I will say it like that, straight up. It is hot out here, and of course, the fabrics on the jerseys they're trying to make a difference. With the thinner pieces of it and everything like that. Obviously, everybody has their opinion about the jerseys, how they look, and all that. But gosh, he even said it: 3 jerseys. He went through 3 jerseys, and if you
There's
look at the videos, he sweats. He sweats so bad.
JP Sears also had to switch jerseys, so that's how bad it
Yeah,
was.
there was a picture out there that God, he was soaked in that. But I think on Blanco's end too, I think it was smart move on his part. I don't know if management or even the coaches kind of got with him and talk about, hey, just appeal it. You're not gonna win it. Just go ahead and just do it now. Then we only have to miss one start from you. And I think you got to do it now because the next week, if or no, it would be this week. He would pitch against the Angels, which fine by the Angels aren't even playing good baseball at the moment, but they did beat the Rangers today.
Yeah,
Anyway, he'll miss that one start, and then next week he'll start against more than likely that weekend against the Oakland Athletics in Oakland. So I think
yeah,
you would, it's not going to hurt him, and then maybe he needs the rest too because I mean he hasn't started so many games as a regular starter for the Astros.
yeah. And like you said, he'll be pitching next week. If he were to appeal it, he'll most likely miss 2 starts instead of one, and the Astros going in to the 6-man rotation kind of helps that cause as well. So it's just one start. I'm sure Hunter Brown will probably make this. I'm sure he already did make that start up, so it should be fine.
It should be interesting though because Dana Brown did say 6-man rotation. So if you think about it, just doing the names in the head: Valdez, Verlander, Javier, Brown, and it usually would be Blanco.
Yeah,
So they can't bring nobody up due to the suspension. Who are you going to have that game? Is it going to be a bullpen game? My thought process was maybe allowing Sean Dubin to start a game because Dubin does have some experience as a starter in the minors. My
however,
thought,
Sean.
but what do you think?
Yeah, but however, Sean Dubin was option to the
Option.
minor leagues for
It's very
Parker
true.
Mashinsky, just to get again some more
Fresh
fresh
arms.
arms. Yeah, because they were very limited in the bullpen.
Yeah, but I do agree with you, dude. I think there needs to be a consistency in Major League Baseball. I mean, you can't have one saying over here and saying, oh, we're going to suspend him and, we're not even going to allow him to change gloves. We're not even going to allow him to wash his hands. We're not going to do none of that. We're not even going to touch his hand. We're just going to say, you know what? Get the glove. Let's go. You're gone. And usually what's funny too is that the manager is supposed to be ejected as well.
Is it?
Yeah. Usually the manager and the player are ejected if there's a foreign substance ejection. But the consistency, Major League Baseball has to do a better job at that. They just do because I think like the Glassnow one was it today or yesterday?
I think that was today. If I'm not mistaken.
Exactly, and you can't just just fill on the hands. And I think yeah, I think the consistency needs to be better. I think for MLB.
Absolutely. But moving on to a better note, I guess it's time for our Carne Asada. You got some song today, Zoe? Or
We
what you
got
got?
no song. We barely got
Oh.
power out here, but we don't have no song.
That's true. But who's gonna be cooking up the meat and salsa this time? It's gonna be Alex Bregman. He's gonna be he's gonna
Ooh,
be making some barbacoa with some Breggy bomb sauce. So he went
yeah, I
seven
think
for 14.
I think he has a rub too.
Does he?
He does. I
Oh,
think he does.
I did not know
Some
that.
swamp sauce.
There you go. So, like you said, he went 5 for 10 against Oakland, 1 for 3 against Milwaukee as well. In that span, in those 6 game span, 5 game span, it was three. He had 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 5 runs. Again, he really turned it around so far, and I'm sure Astros fans are hopeful he can continue that trend. Uh, who's going to be the tortillas for the Barbacoa? Going to be Framber Valdez, of course. I get what like we said earlier: 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Really need that outing for the Astros for sure. The rice again, you can have some Mexican food without some rice. So Jeremy Pena's to be bringing that against Milwaukee. He went 1 for 3 with a 3-run home run, which was the difference for the victory there. 3 for 15 against Oakland, and he is hitting the second spot again. I think that's what he feels more comfortable with, and you just saw he just hit a 3-run home run from that spot as well. The beans. I don't know about me, but when I make my barbacoa tacos, I like to put beans in it. I don't know about you, but that's just
You put bean like
I
okay,
do.
refried,
I do. Yeah,
refried beans at least.
yeah. Refried
Okay,
beans.
okay. I was just making sure. I ain't put
Well,
dumping the whole thing of beans in there.
it's gonna be Kyle Tucker for sure. Seventh, he has a 7 game history at the moment. He went 5 for 13 against Oakland, 2 for 3 against Milwaukee. He has walked 5 times in the past 5 games.
Wow.
He's recorded a walk in every game in May except 4. So he's getting on base in any way possible. And when he has a good season, the Astros have a good season because I think he just needs he just needs a little help. I know Alvarez is struggling. Bregman's barely coming back. Jeremy Pena's had a pretty great season too, and then Altuve, kind of like has been like in a little slump lately. But
Mhm.
overall, I think once that offense clicks, led by Kyle Tucker, this offense is going to be really good. And then lastly, is me despite joining Alex Bregman and bringing the sauces and me Joy Lupafeeder, who recorded his first home run in the Oakland series as well. So congratulations to him. He did get the ball back. I think he settled for a meet and greet with the fan who caught it. So
And a
that
signed
it.
bat, I want to say.
Inside bat. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He said, I think from Ari Alexander that works with Channel 2 News, he had said, I want to say in the tweet, I don't have it on me right now, but he had mentioned that he had ran out of power and he stayed at Arrighetti's
Oh,
house,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So what an eventful day for him, huh?
right? And yeah, shout out to Julia Morales and Jenny Kavner too. We gotta, I don't know what they would bring, but maybe the pan dulce, maybe
Absolutely. Yeah.
making
So pretty
history
brave.
for women in sports. I think that's pretty awesome to play by play for the home and visiting team. So shout out to them being able to do that. We didn't do the shout out on the first game, but we'll make sure we're shouting out for something like that. That's very historical, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But Alex Bregman too, real quick, like you were saying for him. I mean, 10 for 27 his last 7 games, 370 batting average. The slugging is 815. My gosh. Headband Breggy is just a different breed
It's
right now.
bad. It's bad. But that's caught on to the rest of the Astros. I know Trey Cabbage had, uh, he had like a green one and then switched to a like Arctic Sniper one, and then
Yeah.
I think Marcio Dubon had his own um, headband too. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Alex Bregman called Marucci, and by the
Yeah.
next day, everybody had a headband in their locker. So maybe it's a trend to continue on. It kind of reminds me of like those high school playoff teams that dye their hair blonde or like do something and like get like change their fortune and get some mojo going.
Yeah, I think that's what they needed. We talked about it in the beginning of the season. I mean, they looked like there was no energy on the team. Nobody was like hot. I mean, nobody was like saying anything. Usually somebody does some type of home run celebration. I guess headbands are in right now, dude. We got to go
Absolutely.
order some headbands for us. Looking like Rambo. I wonder if Joe Espada wore his.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. You know what? I'll try to ask him next time.
But anyway, the pitching preview for the Milwaukee Brewers, 26-18 as of today, 5-5 in their last 10 games. We did have the preview, but like we said, we lost power. But let's get them 2 games out of the way at least. Saturday, 6:10 start time. You got Brees Wilson going for the Brewers, 2-1 record with a 2.65 ERA. He'll be going against the vet Justin Verlander, 2-1 record with a 3.38 ERA. And Wilson Angel, I picked this guy on fantasy. I thought he was going to give me a quality start. You testify because we're both going against each other on fantasy baseball. And his last start versus St. Louis was kind of rocky for him. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. I mean, the walk rate right there just shows you it wasn't there with him. Command wasn't going for him. But the interesting thing about him is he was a reliever. He started as a reliever, and we've seen this trend kind of going through the league this season and turn into a starter. 2-1 record, 2.65 ERA. Do the math. I mean, that's pretty damn good to be a starter this year. The fastball run value, it's a 90th percentile on StatCast. And then I was looking as well. First time through the lineup, Angel, 307 opponent batting average with a 513 slugging, Second time, 244. Third time, 303. You're the Astros. You got to attack him right there. First thing, first pitch. He's going to bring it to you, and you're going to have to figure a way out to do some damage and try to get to that bullpen.
Absolutely. I think you kind of like try to take advantage when you can, because usually, the first round you kind of get a good glimpse of how the stuff moves. Whatever he throws, what's spinning, and usually by your second at bat you should be able to test it. Probably makes more mistakes too, so take advantage of those.
Team's a bunch of veterans. They know what they're doing. He's a veteran too, actually. I think he was drafted in 2016. But bunch of veterans on the Astros lineup. Then you got JV on the other side. Speaking of the vet, last start against the Detroit Tigers, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. The biggest thing in that start from the Yankee start is he made an adjustment. From the Yankees to the Detroit, like you were saying, he was trying to be deceptive, try to figure it out, and sure enough, he did against his former team. I think he's going to continue doing it against a team like this, against the Brewers, a start that Astros are going to really need him to go into and try to, at least get the series win, guaranteeing that second game. So Sunday, 110 start time. Colin Rea, 3-1 record, 3.45 ERA. He'll be going against Spencer Arrighetti, who got his first win as well. We did mention that on the last pod, but just in case anybody didn't know, yeah, he got his first win as an MLB player. 1-4 with a 7.52 ERA. Rea last start versus Pittsburgh, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. I believe this guy's been with the Brewers for a while, dude. Every time I see him, that name's always popping up on the Brewers roster. He does have a 6-pitch arsenal: a sinker, cutter, four-seamer, sweeper, curveball, split finger. So he has a lot of options that he could go to. As you can see, the sinker, cutter, and fastball, that's no all-speed or no breaking pitches. He's going to attack you with that. And another part of it, too, he's not allowed to hit with the sweeper. And the sweeper has been a decisive pitch for a lot of pitchers this season, last season, kind of, sweeper / curveball / slider. So he's been really good with that. But he did start against Houston last year, 5 1/3, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So as a game of adjustments, I think the Astros can look at the film from last year when they were playing at American Family Field and kind of look into that and see what he's done different this year from last year.
Absolutely. And, speaking of sweepers, Jeremy Pena hit that 3-run home run off a slider, too. I know you've been kind of grilling on him, not be able to hit that pitch, but hey, he says a game of adjustments.
He's made an adjustment this year. Yeah. He's made an adjustment, period. Sweeper, changeup, fastball, throw whatever you want to the kid. He's been making great adjustments at the plate this year, as in what is his 3rd year in the league? Yeah,
3rd year.
24. Yep. So Arrighetti, the last guy on here, last start versus Oakland, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Angel, this guy is figuring it out every start. And we've been talking about it, that he's just going to have to continue learning. And sure enough, he's been doing that. 12 swing and misses. The off-speed command was just phenomenal for him. He threw it a lot for strikes, low out of the zone, making hitters chase. That's the Arrighetti that the Astros know, and the number, the top prospect in the farm system. That's why they made him make his major league debut early on in the year, plus injuries as well. But the other thing, too, he's pitched through 5 innings in his last 3 starts. You remember in the beginning, Angel? I mean, this guy was not getting, not even to 3, maybe to 4 at least. But now he's getting through 5. He almost went through 6 innings against Oakland. It was pretty close, but 3 of his last 6 starts as well, Arrighetti has allowed at least 2 earned runs. So it's been looking good for him. He's contributing in a lot of ways. He's learning through each start, and he's getting better every start. I mean, that's the thing of it. You're going to have to learn some way, somehow. And being a rookie, allowing you to be around a bunch of veterans, like I guess you could count Framber as a veteran now, Justin Verlander. I mean, you're learning from, good guys, and especially the pitching coaches as well.
Absolutely. I think what would take Spencer Arrighetti's, game even to the next level is the little command of the fastball. I think when he does get in trouble, it's because he leaves the fastball out over the plate. His fastball has a -4 run value. His four-seamer also has an opponent batting average of 400. So like you said, his off-speed pitch was a lot more effective. But I think mixing in a pretty good fastball in there would help. And the reason why he's getting in so much trouble is because he's locating solely on one spot. He's trying to hit that for a right-handed hitter. He's trying to hit them high and inside, and that's like usually the spot he's picking for both hitters, right? So I think if he's able to mix it up, put a fastball low in the corner or to the other side, it'll probably be a little bit more successful on that end.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be another start for him to kind of prove that he's still willing to go through 5 innings. I think I'm not sure the Braves game. I don't know that start if he went through 5 and 2 earned runs in that one, but another team like the Brewers right here, dude. It's an easy way to win the series, get game 2 out of the way. You win that series, you move on to the next one. Have the opportunity to sweep them as well, like a team like that. Um, Great hitters in that team as well. So Astros have a great opportunity to win the series, like we've been saying, and get the job done.
Yeah, and so I mean, what he said, like he's been better, but let's go ahead and move on to the train station. And I don't know if you noticed it, Zoe, but Brian Abreu had the eighth inning today. Typically, Ryan Presley's spot. Oh, Ryan Presley is day to day right now, according to uh, beat writers Shannon Rome and Brian McTaggart. Ryan Presley is dealing with a sore ring finger on his throwing hand, which is affecting his. Obviously it's a throwing hand, so affecting him on the mound. So he's day to day for right now. Once we get more information, we'll get that for you. But two big moves for the Astros: Brandon Bilek and Corey Jokes have been traded. Again, they were put. There were options. They were put on the assignment. Corey Jokes actually traded to the White Sox, joining Marty Marinado and Corey Lee, former Astros there. Astros acquired minor leaguer right-handed pitcher Luis Rodriguez. He's recorded a 3.93 ERA, 49 strikeouts, 1.23 WHIP, and 17 appearances. I think that's in single A or like low ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Brandon Bilek was traded to the Oakland A's, to the opponents they just finished playing, for cash considerations as well. So two big moves. I kind of figured once they're put option, those are guys that could help any ball club, and there you have it. Especially Bilek, I think he was a little bit, yeah, especially
He's
him.
gonna get a lot of. I think he's gonna get a lot of playing time over there.
Yeah, and by the A's getting it, because the way waivers work, if I'm not mistaken, it's by the lowest record first, and then so on. So A's don't have that a good record, so I'm sure other teams put a claim in for him. Just Oakland was the one that won it. But Chas McCormick is continuing his rehab starts over there. I believe where they're at in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, in San Antonio. So that'll be interesting to see. So is Arrighetti. Arrighetti's expected to pitch this weekend as well. So it'll be interesting to see at that. And then lastly, for around the team station is Jose Abreu sighting. Francis Romero video next showed Abreu was walking into the Astros West Palm Beach facility and was walking with trainer Rene Rojas and Jeff Bagwell. It was the first time he saw live pitching today. He went 1 for 4 with a single, and he did walk, and he draw a walk as well. So Abreu is, kind of increasing his workload, but honestly, the way Luke Refuter is playing, and the way they've been handling first base, so is John Singleton, the way he's been playing, there's no rush. Like, there's no need to rush Abreu back. I think if it was like a dire situation where Singleton wasn't producing, Dubon wasn't able to play first base and stuff like that, then you're kind of like, oh, you need to start wrapping it up right now. But with the production they got him from first base after Jose Abreu has gone to the Florida complex, is kind of, it kind of puts Abreu as, take your time, come back, whenever you can do. But when he does come back, no matter what the production is, I think Abreu will get the most opportunities when he does, again, for two reasons. His track record, like you said, like the Astros said before, like the back of the baseball card thing, right? He won an MVP, Silver Slugger, but they also paid him a lot of money. So I think when he does come back, he'll get the majority of the workload at first base. It's just based on production at this point.
Yeah, like I said, there's no timetable as well. I mean, they've asked a spot or two when he's going to come back. Is there any set date? And he's like, no, not really. I mean, nothing yet. And like you're saying, there's no rush, especially the way that Singleton's playing, especially now Mauricio Dubon too is getting a little bit of work at first base. Yonder Diaz is getting a little bit as well before the game. There's just no rush. I mean, I think the chemistry too that the team's playing at this point. I'm not saying that Jose Abreu was kind of a guy that was not building off of it, but
the opposite,
the way, I mean, the way that they're playing at this point, I mean, everything looks good. Vibes look immaculate on the Astros clubhouse.
Absolutely. So it's just a matter of time for them. again, like there's no rush, but I think by the end of the season, maybe even after the All-Star break, you will see Jose Abreu in an Astros uniform once again. But moving on to around the horn, a lot of great stuff. Paul Skenes made his second start against the Cubs again. I have him on my fantasy team. I don't know. I was a little weary about this one because I was like second time around. The Cubs seen him, like he didn't fare so good,
Oh yeah, that's true.
but again, actually did a lot better. 6 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. He threw 100 pitches in 6 innings, so obviously they're gonna let him finish. He's a long guy, throws hard. They care about his arm, but had a no hitter going through 6. Pirates have played 1,017 games at Wrigley Field since their history. 1,017 games. Remember that
History
number.
of the day.
Yeah. Paul Skenes' 11 strikeouts are the most by any pitcher in a Pirates uniform in the previous 1,016 games.
At Wrigley Field.
At
Oh
Wrigley
wow,
Field, yes. That's something.
that's a menace right there. That's what it is.
He even threw, like something I know I had in the back of my mind is fatigue for Paul Skenes, as he pitches more. Well, his 100th pitch was 100 miles per hour. So there's no worry about fatigue there for sure.
Dude, I think the Pirates rotation is going to be really good in the future. The way Jared Jones is pitching right now for them, and now the way that Paul Skenes is pitching, that 1-2 punch is the freaking real deal. If they could get a better offensive showing, some better offensive players on their team, they could be another team that could fight for a wild card spot or possibly even fight for the NL Central.
Well, they put up 9 runs today, so maybe it's Andrew McCutcheon's the kind of leading the pack there, with that veteran presence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, look dirty. Realistically.
Oh, you say it because you got him on your fantasy team. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it, dude.
Okay, so in your prime, we step in a box against Paul Skenes. What are you doing?
I'm foul tipping it. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing what like the bench runners, dog. I'm putting the bat out there. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna tip it. I'm gonna say I tipped it on the first rounder like him. Because you gotta tip your cap to that guy.
3 strikes.
Oh, you're taking 3 strikes down the road?
No, you 3 strikes.
Okay, what about you then?
Same thing. Same thing. 3 strikes. I'm striking out there.
You're gonna have a bat speed of 40 or what?
Probably. Eyes closed and everything.
Sweeper just gonna come and
it's dirty. But we got some crazy news coming in from Angels camp. David Fletcher. I remember that guy. I know he's in the minor leagues right now. Even though he's getting paid a lot of money too. But David Fletcher also used the illegal bookie that Shohei Ohtani's interpreter used to bet on games. That was kind of breaking news from right before the podcast started. So that's crazy. So I think as this investigation progresses more and more, it's going to be like the truth will be unveiled and see what's going on. Again, I don't want to put my opinion on it. It's not my place. I don't know all the facts, right? But crazy situation happening in Anaheim, which again, this is the second negative press again for the Angels because Tyler Skaggs with the overdose too, and then now the gambling situation. So crazy
the contract as well.
Yeah, crazy stuff happening in Anaheim.
Yeah, this was from Tisha Thompson, who works for ESPN, reporter for ESPN.
Yeah.
David Fletcher's close friend, Kobe Schultz, who played in the Kansas City Royals farm system from 2018 to 2020, placed bets on baseball, including on Angels games that Fletcher played in while he was on the team. And then more to say, David Fletcher was Ohtani's teammate from 2018 to 2023 and has been described as one of Ohtani's closest friends in baseball. According to sources, Fletcher placed bets with the bookmaking operation of Matthew Boyer, also known as Bookmaker One, in the criminal complaint against Ippei Masuhara, Ohtani's former interpreter, accused of stealing $17 million from the MLB superstar to pay back gambling debts owed to Boyer. Key sentence right there. Ohtani's closest friends in baseball.
That's exactly the sentence I was going to re-say too as I heard you. That's one that stood out.
One of Ohtani's closest friends in baseball. Like we're saying, we're not saying nothing negative because we don't have all the facts or anything like that, but we're just reading what the tweet, what Tisha Thompson has reported for ESPN.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
That's baseball, though. That is baseball for you. But Shohei Ohtani's doing Shohei Ohtani things with the Dodgers. Of course, he's an MVP candidate as of early on in what, May 17th?
Yeah.
Dodgers the
Yeah.
way that they're playing, and yeah, I mean, it's really much about it. It's really about it.
We're kind of not this one around 45 minutes. It's going to be an hour episode.
Yeah, I mean, game one of the pitching preview that took off a little bit of 5 minutes. Kind of erase that out the way. But that is the end of our show. Continue to follow us on the platforms below: TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all those things. We will be doing a giveaway. Like we said, we've been dealing with this power stuff, the power outage and all this crazy weather going on. So we'll do a giveaway probably more than likely this coming week for the Angels series, because we did hit over 100 subscribers. Now we are at 102. We got to continue putting that number up. The more we get it up, the more giveaways we'll do, because we love the support and the continuous support that each and every one of y'all is giving us to do this podcast about the Astros. But Angel, you got anything else before we sign off?
No, and also, if you follow Arrighetti on TikTok, on Instagram, Lorenzo has been putting some great reels there as well with some of our coworkers. Just give you an insight on the players, so go check those out as well.
Yeah, those are baseball ones as well. It's not just about the Astros; it's other players from other teams getting their facts. I mean, we did talk about Canelo and Munguia when there was that fight. We had asked Andres Munoz. We asked about Luis Urias as well. So yeah, we don't do just but Astros. We're looking maybe transitioning doing to a Major League Baseball podcast, but
Oh wow! Okay.
but we will see. We'll keep everybody updated on that, because we tried it. We tried it once, but we could do it again.
Second time the charm.
It's not third time. It's not the first time. It's the second time. But until then, y'all stay safe. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Peace.